No, please don't fly through the middle. Please don't fly through the middle.
Guys, would I have a pilot for this one? So this is not gonna work. No, we threw that.
Bruh.
Lads, let me go fuck.
How's it going, guys? Before I get into today's video, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for helping me get to 2K subs. It wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for all you liking, subscribing, sharing the videos, and of course, watching the channel. And I could never have gotten here if it wasn't for all you guys. And you know, I remember back when we hit 1K back in mid-January, and I was predicting we'd get to this point in about 6 months. But no, we did it in 2 months, and I am just so happy. But anyways, in today's video, I want to talk about the Radioman role, which is everyone's favorite role. Obviously the most popular role in the game that people literally fight each other to get this. Okay, I'm clearly joking. It is quite possibly one of the most boring classes to play, and people only pick it so they can get the shotgun, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. But I want to talk about how to play this role effectively and explain some things that the commander can do as well to kind of make these two classes work really well together. Because if you've got a good commander and a good Radioman, then you can actually do some pretty good things. But anyways, let's get into the video. Alright, first things first, there is a level requirement of being at level 5, or maybe they've changed it, I don't know. It was like 2 years since I've been level 5. And I mean, let's be honest, there isn't really too much of a difference between a level 5 and a level 0. And you know, I apologize that I have to be offensive towards low level players, but I mean, even when it comes to helicopters, even like on the map Resort, I literally check every pilot. If anyone's under like level 25, I'm not getting in a helicopter with you. I can understand that there are probably good low level pilots, but the amount of times that I've seen a level 5 get in a Huey and drive right into the middle, fly right into the middle of Resort and get gunned down by Anthony on a freaking Dushka. It's happened too many times. But anyways, that had nothing to do with the video, but a couple of things that I like to do to make the commander's life easier is, for starters, I ask the commander if they need me, and I like to announce my presence and everything to say, hey, you know, oi, do you need me? And usually the commander will say, yeah, nah, mate. And if you're not Australian, when someone says, yeah, nah, mate, that really means no thank you. But if someone says nah yeah, that means yes, like I would like this. But usually when they say yeah nah, I just go back onto the battlefield, because there isn't really any point of me sitting at the back with the commander and just sitting there like playing with my dick or something, or just on Reddit. But another helpful thing is, if let's say the commander says, yeah, you know, I do need you, I will go into my own squad, or I ask to be squad leader, and I'll go more into that in a second, because I can communicate with the commander. Like, it's important that you talk to your commander via, you know, chat, or even by, you know, VoIP or whatever, which is pretty important that you do that. And I can say, okay, do you want to mark here? Where do you want to mark? Because let's be honest, sometimes I be a squad leader and I just completely forget that I am. Like, I forget to put down a tunnel, I forget to put down marks, I just completely ignore like, oh, you are now the squad leader message. And sometimes squad leaders just put down marks just for the sake of putting down marks. Like, they don't even, you know, really put too much effort into it. They just lob it right onto the point, and then it's usually close to other marks, so there isn't really a variety for the commander. So if I'm able to talk to the commander, I can say, okay, I'll put it here, do you want it there? And this is good teamwork. But I'm gonna be completely honest, the majority of the time I find that the commander just likes to sit in the back of the map on the radio. And you know, as a defending commander, I'm okay with that, especially if it's for the Southern Forces, because the rapid deploy ability doesn't deploy people on the commander, but onto spawn points, like, you know, Alpha, you know, the spawn points, or even on your squad leader. However, with the Northern commanders, the ambush deploy spawns everyone on top of you. So if you're sitting right at the back of the map, I mean, there's no point. Sometimes the radio's even further back than the actual spawn points, so you're just disadvantaging your team. And yes, I need to just clear something up, just putting it out there. You do not need a Radioman to use an ambush deploy or rapid deploy ability, but this is why I find it important for Northern commanders to be more proactive and sort of moving around with the Radioman and getting close to combat and everything. But this is what I like to do, or in a hypothetical scenario, I only do this when I'm with my friends on a Discord call, because then, you know, we can communicate in real time like that. Sure, you can do that with the commander, but I mean, if it's some stranger or someone that you don't know, then it's going to be hard to say, okay, do this, this, do that, you're not going to be really in sync, if you know what I mean. But what I like to do is, I like to be a commander and I like to have my friend as a radio man or whatever, or vice versa. So basically, the commander can act as a spawn point. So let's say the commander is on a point trying to cap, and the radio men are waiting to spawn. If they spawn on the commander, they can get right onto the points, and this also allows people in the squad to spawn on the radio man. Now this might require some coordination and communication with your teammates, which well, you can't always expect good things to happen from that, but it's pretty good when it does manage to work. Yet again, I don't recommend the commander to play super aggressively unless it's in the first couple of minutes of the game when all the abilities are on cooldown. But when I say that, I'm talking about this type of scenario where the radio men can spawn on you, and then if they're the squad leader, people can spawn on them. Now, another helpful tip is if you are a radio man, you might tend to get a thing called tunnel vision, and I get this a lot when I'm a radio man. Now, what I'm talking about is that sometimes I might be so fixated on following the commander, or even when we are like huddled behind cover, I'm gonna be honest, I don't pay attention to my surroundings, and we'll both end up dead. I find this happens a lot when the commander has like used his recon ability, and I'm trying to stay really close to them, because if you aren't in range, then the recon ability won't work. But something that I've read on the Rising Storm 2 wiki, and obviously don't take this information as completely 100% factual, because a lot of the information on that website is pretty outdated, that dates back to like 2017. And what I'm talking about is that if a radio man dies when a commander uses the recon ability, if the commander is within the area of where the person died, the recon ability won't be affected. I don't know if this is still the same, but I mean, that's some homework for you guys if you want to go and test it out. Another thing is that when the commander is, on the radio doing God knows what, probably talking to their girlfriend or something, I just assume that's what they are doing when there's like a lack of artillery or napalm or recon, or just the commander doing anything in general. Like, they could sit on the radio, but it's like, what are they doing there? It's like you just gotta press a couple of buttons. It's not that hard. But I can't really criticize the commander because, sometimes when I play as the radio man, I like to play on my phone, and yeah, like I said previously, that does end up pretty badly for all of us. But look, this is why I advise that the radio man stays alert when with the commander. Hey, look, I know that it can get boring just sitting there waiting for, the pretty decent, or pretty well, 25 plus radio man bonus, but I look at being a radio man as somewhat of a bodyguard to the commander. While they are on the radio, the commander that is, just keep an eye out in your surroundings, stay alert and protect the commander, because obviously they're not going to have any peripheral vision of the commander, because they're going to be staring at a screen trying to think, okay, if I RT here, napalm there, recon now, or in 30 seconds, all that type of stuff that a commander might be thinking. You just want to make sure that nothing bad happens to them, because if something does, you're gonna have to wait for the commander to respawn. But look, I want to end the video with the types of weapons each faction gets as a radio man, and I'm not going to cover each and every faction, so I just put them up on screen, but they are very similar to an infantry role, except they do offer some unique weapons, or a good variety here and there, like with the United States Army or Marines, I can't remember. They get a shotgun, which is pretty good. Like, a shotgun in this game are really effective, and to actually get your hands on one instead of having to use, let's say, the standard M16 and M14, which are really good guns in my opinion, but still, sometimes you just might want to use a shotgun. But the main difference is that radio men carry smokes, but they don't carry grenades, which in my opinion, grenades are really useful. They've saved me countless times, enough times to warrant me to say that they are a very useful tool, because you can cook them, you can lob them underhand, and they can be really, really effective, which is why sometimes I kind of wish that, I wish I had a frag grenade, and all I have are smokes. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, smoke grenades are really useful support tools. You can throw them onto a point, conceal yourself, conceal friendlies. But look, to kind of sum everything up, if you are a radio man, just stick with the commander, or first off, ask them, do they need you? If they say no and they're just going to sit back and on the radio talking to the girlfriend, that is completely okay. And who knows, maybe the commander might actually need you. But if they do need you, you want to stick with them, stick close with them, stay alert and ready, protect them, so you can accumulate the beautiful 25 plus bonus. Anyways, I'm going to end today's video there. I hope you guys did enjoy, because if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends and family. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.